Can women be players too? I know you had that down. What made you think about that topic?
Correlate.
Basically, because everybody's singing that song, and I'm
Mm.
just like, the lyrics are very detailed. Like basically how a man would deliver that song, and so I'm divorced. You know, it's been like over 2 years or whatever. So like I'm in the dating scene now. Let's not get into that.
I'm very surprised.
I'm about to
by
say
that,
you a
like,
player.
Yes, I was divorced. You know, and all that. But my what is y'all definition of a player though? Like, what do you think a player is as a man?
I think somebody who just blatantly just misleading or like misleading a person, or has a list of potential candidates that they know they're not going to take seriously, and they just misleading them, like, you know what I mean?
Right, and having sexual intercourse
That's
with
that's
But we do
incorrect.
got the resident player in the building.
That's not a player. A player is a person that keeps it real with you. A real player is a person that keeps it real with you and have multiple options with you, knowing me
And
having
I
multiple
I don't
options.
agree with that.
That's a
because
respect.
that's how
that,
the
I don't
Mac
think
gave
that's-
it up.
no,
He
a
was
player.
real.
Yeah, a player.
And
A
he had
player.
multiple women.
A player. Now, a nigga that's doing all that up, what you define, that's a dickhead or a fuck nigga or a fuck boy.
I don't
You know
really
what I'm
think
saying?
so.
So
I
a
don't
player
know how
is
a player
a person
being-
that's
person being
playing the
honest.
game that you know that the game is being played.
Okay.
That's why they say two can play that game. So you
Well,
know,
that's when you
know what
find
the game
out
is
that
going.
he's playing though.
No. There's dudes out here that's telling you like, oh, I'm keeping my options open. It's cool. Let's date.
I don't
Let's
think
That's
that's
a player.
playing
Somebody
though.
that's being honest.
Yeah, I feel
women
like
being
that's being
honest being
open.
synonymous with being a player.
But
though.
because you're doing it with multiple
But he's
women.
saying it in the back in the day terms. Think about what he just said. He's being honest about it. But he has multiple women. That's what a player was. When you look at the Mac and all those movies, the pimp walk and all that, those is what guys did. They were players.
Well, I personally feel like a player in today's society is somebody that, like, first of all, nobody wants to date with intent these days. So everybody thinks it's cool to not settle down. It's cool to like have multiple women and not try to be open with them, saying like, hey, I'm dating around, I'm seeing this person, or I'm just not ready for all that. A player is knowing that you're having sex with this person, you're having sex with that person, you're having sex with that person, and you're telling all of them, like, no, it's just you. Like, no, I'm good. I feel like that's a player.
Yeah, that's a fuckboy.
That's a new term, but for me, I feel like that's a player.
And she's saying she based it off the generation that we are now living in, because things change with generation, so our terms are changing too.
Yeah, I can't consider myself a player if I'm manipulating or taking something from a woman. Or
Then what would you consider yourself?
A fuckboy. Yeah.
According to Urban Dictionary, it says a player, usually male, who plays with a woman's emotion until he gets them to have feelings for him, and then ends the relationship the second they usually do.
Yeah,
but look,
I'm just saying that's what that. I'm not
okay,
saying
but
it's true
even with that being said, right? I can make you like me. That don't mean I didn't tell you I'm fucking other women or dealing with other women.
That's a fact.
I'm still keeping it player. You get what I'm saying?
I think it's easy for someone to lie and have multiple people, because if that person is thinking that that's the only one, obviously they're gonna be around. But to tell a person that you got options and they still there, that makes you the real player in the game. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying. It depends on the type of person you're actually dealing with. Because for me, when I started dating my boyfriend, he was very honest. And I wanted somebody to be honest with me because it gave me the choice to say whether I wanted to do this or not. And some females may not be able to take in that because they're so emotional with the situation.
True.
Me personally, be honest with me because I'm going to be honest with you too. And I want you to be able to take my honesty just as much as I'm able to take yours. So if you telling me when I started dealing with him, oh, I do talk to such and such. I'm not looking for such and such right now. I'm just, doing my thing. Cool. As we gravitate towards being around each other more and things start getting a little bit more serious, then the respect level comes. But one thing I can say was he was honest in the beginning. He was dealing with multiple women.
But I don't think I would define that as a player though.
So when we say girls are player too, are women, if we're using that same context, are women telling other men, I got a lot of niggas?
I feel like if I'm dating someone, okay, I feel like if I'm entertaining a guy, I give this guy my number, but I already was texting somebody else. We haven't done anything sexually. We haven't gone on dates. I'm entertaining this guy. I meet someone, I'm entertaining that guy. I don't have to tell either or, like, hey, I got some. It's not serious. But if I'm intimate with one guy and then I'm going to be intimate with the other guy and then I'm going to let one thing like, you're the one I'm pursuing and that's playing. Like, it's not like That's people's real emotions, like, you're playing with. At the end of the day, like, women can be players too, because all they do nowadays is, like, they want to be with men for what they can get. So if it's money, if it's the trips, if it's the Birkin, they're going to play that game to make that man feel like, oh, you're the only one and you're this and you're that. But they have this man that gives them that man that gives them that, this man. You can't tell the man that's spending $100,000 on you for the year or every month that you're fucking a little nigga down the street. Yeah. That's it. It's a wrap. So you got to play the game. So women can be players too. Men do it as well, because a man can say he likes, okay, trophy girl, hood girl, trophy girl, everything. She has her business. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. She's intelligent. Hood girl, sloppiest sex ever. He don't want to lose the trophy girl. He want to keep her there for when he's done with that girl. It's playing the game. He's playing a game, but the hood girl's gonna get feelings and trophy girl gonna get feelings, and then somebody else might come into the picture. He's playing a game. That's my definition of a player. Not somebody that's saying, oh, hey, you know what? I'm talking to somebody, but it's not that serious. That's just you being open and honest, because we're adults. That's being dating, open and honest. Period. That's dating, right? Yeah, but if you're dating with intent, when I'm dating with intent currently, so when I meet somebody and they're like, hey, what's up, shorty? You cute. First of all, I don't say it like that, but I put it on the table. I said, listen, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm not doing. Yep. This is boundaries. You have to operate within the parameter of this boundary. If you choose not to, you could go. I don't care. Don't come into my life and tell me like, yeah, no, I'm looking for something serious.
Like, you're like, hey, hi, I'm Eli. Like, nice to meet you.
Not right away.
First of all, I'm dating with intentions. If you ain't got this,
I don't think it's off the rip, but I think that's a conversation.
I mean, it's a conversation on the during conversation, whether we're gonna FaceTime or text or whatever. But I'm gonna be open. I don't want to waste time. I'm 31 years old. I've been married or whatever the case is. So I know what I want. So if somebody feels like, you know what, I want to, she's gorgeous or she's this, she's that, that's not enough for me. Don't trophy wife me. Be like, date with intent. If you're not ready, that's fine. And I'm okay with that. Don't fill my ears with sweet nothing. I can decipher when you're being honest and when you're lying. Right. I know. So don't, so that's what I'm saying. I'm not a player. But if I wanted to, I could.
So Ju, like, what's your rebuttal towards that? Like, what she said about the analogy she made?
I mean, I could hear. I don't think. See, and it's a double standard, but being a player for a woman is never going to be beneficial. Like, she can get all of the glamorous or the jewelry or the gifts or whatever the case may be, but I don't really see a woman player, I mean, besides Kim K and like that. But, these celebrities, I'm talking about these average woman player, you just getting ran through and passed up. You get what I'm saying?
Goes for the goose, goes for the gander. If a celebrity can be called a player, then a regular person can do it.
I mean, you can think it, but are these regular women players really, I don't know.
What are regular women? Instagram models?
Aren't they? They're not they're regular, right?
Right, and then there's the average lady that walks on the street. If there's a lady now...
what I'm saying, you're looking at these Instagram models, are they getting married and the whole package at the end of the day?
No, but that's about playing the game. They chose
that. But you really lose the game because you at the end of the day, you're going to be sad and lonely.
But a man can lose too, because at the end of the day...
A man could still always give the access to marriage by offering a woman hand, right? He can go to the next woman, right?
Let me ask you this. Are they really losing if they don't want that for themselves?
How many women don't want to get married?
I don't know if I want to get married again.
We're around a certain amount of people that we know like that. But are we broadening our horizons to say, do we know like this is exactly what we want?
Well, I mean, if that's the game you play, then happy. But I'm saying in majority, most women want to get married. And most women want that companion partner to be with.
And I would agree with him, because look at the celebrities now that are reversing their plastic surgeries. Don't for 1 minute think that it's because that's what they want to do. They're realizing that whole player mindset that I'm going to use men and I'm going to do what I can do is not working for them, and they're lonely and they're getting older and they're realizing like dudes are not going to wife you. They're not going to take you seriously under those circumstances. So yes, it was beneficial at a period of time in life when it was beneficial, but now that you're getting older and you're actually seeing like what's really important in life, and men are actually having more of a voice and they're actually speaking up about what they like and what they do not like and what they will not tolerate, and having boundaries. They are switching up. Look at Black China, and look at Kim K, all of them.
But I feel like the question was just more like, can women be players too. So in
To
a
a certain
nutshell,
extent,
yeah,
what you're saying.
I think so.
You can
Y'all-
agree.
Y'all
They
listening to
but
all
they're
these
not beneficial.
they
But
and
it's
they
not
listen to all
beneficial.
these songs, but most of those women that singing all these songs
Got
about
men.
niggas tricking
Yeah.
are married and
Yeah.
doing whatever they man say at home. So
Oh,
y'all
okay,
keep
I
listening to it.
For
Let me
real.
tell you, I learned that Sukiyana, whatever you say her name is,
Mhm.
she's married with children. Did not know that.
Suki?
Yes, she
Somebody
spoke about
wife
it.
that?
Wasn't she just messing with that dude from
She said my
Yeah.
husband, yeah, but she said it. And I'm like, are y'all serious? And then my friend sent me a whole thing on her and she was talking about it. But I could have sworn this girl was a whole fucking porn star. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I thought she was like some freak lady.
I get what you're saying, but she ain't a good example to be talking
No,
about.
I'm just
Like,
I never said she was an
Nah, yeah, I get what
example.
you're saying. Yeah.
But I was just like, this
Yeah,
is weird.
I didn't know she was married either. I know she had a man or whatever
Yeah.
they call. I didn't know she was married. I didn't know they was married.
There's
Allegedly.
somebody out there for everyone, so I don't judge.
Right.
It's true.
So yeah, like I said, I think women obviously can be players too. I mean, they might be able to play the game sometimes. Like I said, depending on what you want to get out of it. Like if you're just playing.
So
to,
would you value a woman that you feel like she doesn't value her pussy?
no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying what.
Because that's the first thing I'm thinking. Because
Yeah.
you want to be player too. I'm thinking you getting fucked.
Yeah, but what is the purpose of a man being a player to get as much pussy as possible, right?
But women don't care about that.
Do you
No,
know
I'm
there's
just
women
saying.
out there that I'm sorry to cut you off.
No.
There are women out there who can have a whole lifestyle of the lifestyle and not have sex with multiple men.
Mhm.
That's true too. But I think when you give,
It's dangerous.
if you give multiple
It's very
men,
dangerous.
attention, you kind of, and I would say it's probably a part of the male ego, but no man wants somebody that she's willing to give everybody a shot. You
That
get what I'm
is
saying?
true.
I want to feel special to, saying, I'm not saying you can't be with nobody in your life or not have a past or whatever the case may be. I'm just saying,
You
if
don't
your
wanna know
shit,
about it.
yeah, if you fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry and you
Right.
just open with it, then I'm like, nah.
Do you know
I'm
that
good.
there are women who feel the same way as well? Because I like my man exclusive. I don't want no girl coming up to me saying, "Oh, he used to talk to such and such," and that's such a turn off for women as well.
But usually a lot of women would also feel like they can be like, oh, well, he's mine now.
Okay, but
Where
then,
a man won't
but he
say
used
that.
to be for Sandra, Chantel,
And they still say,
Alicia.
well, he's mine now, B, bye, 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 get out
Yeah,
my face.
I think women are usually much more, which is why they don't have this conversation about body count. You always hear men talk about body count because that's something that we value. Women don't really care about a man's body count. They would prefer I'm talking about most women.
Okay.
I understand you might be different, but most women don't prefer that. Actually, they want a man to be experienced, and usually that experience comes with him having multiple
And
partners.
I got
Yes.
proof that
Yeah.
women even understands about the body count, because when you ask most women what's their body count, they wouldn't say. So you don't want to say because that man is going to look at you
Not the real
a
number.
certain type of way.
Mhm.
A man, you ask him, he'll say it, or he, regardless.
I don't
Because
think a man
men
gonna say it
slut
'cause they
shame a
don't
lot
remember
at
their
the
numbers.
end of the day. So
I never knew a guy who remember their number this day.
Yeah, I
I
don't.
wouldn't
I
even
don't
want a
know,
man
bro, I ain't
who
gonna lie.
Remember they
don't
number.
have
But
enough.
we wouldn't get
That
we
remember
wouldn't
that
we wouldn't, we
body
wouldn't give a
count.
we wouldn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But women off the rip, whether they know it or not, they be like, no, why does it matter? Or
listen,
whatever.
if
the
you
case may be,
tell
they're
a
not
man
interested.
you had sex with 2 guys, they're looking at you crazy already.
Yeah, you lying.
Because y'all
yeah,
are
of course.
very emotional and like,
It's not emotional.
how
Niggas
dare
ain't lying,
you
like,
give
come
up
on.
A lot of
my
guys-
vagina?
No.
I
The
just
reason-
discussed it the other day. A lot of guys say they don't want to know. They don't care to know.
Yeah, I don't
want to
know.
know.
Yeah, that's what
But
I'm
if
saying.
you say 2, I'm looking at you crazy because I know you're lying. That's why.
You got to multiply that by 3 or
You
4.
do have women that are like old and are virgins.
Huh?
You
Yeah,
have
but
women that
no,
are
he don't
that's
want
true.
that.
But in today's
He
society,
don't-
especially when we
Right.
promote this sexually liberated, lifestyle, like usually women is out here exploring their bodies and the
Would
sexuality.
you be with a virgin?
Yeah, I would be with a virgin.
Would you be with a virgin?
Yeah.
Would you be with a virgin?
Yeah.
But she's not experienced.
No, the thing is she gonna be? Is she willing to?
No,
do
she's not
things?
sucking your dick. Cause she
No.
don't know
I'm
that.
saying once
No,
we
no, no.
once we get to that
What you mean
point.
she not? Come on, man.
We-
She's
What-
a virgin. She's scared. Oh my god.
No, she's a virgin. That means she hasn't done the sexual
Yeah.
activity.
Or
That don't mean
down
she's
mean
not
that she not
willing. Like, you know what I'm
willing.
saying?
You
Come
She's
on.
not. Well, okay, no, virgin. Virgin, like mentally, they're so pure. Like they're so pure to the T. They don't.
No,
even,
we also
like,
knew a virgin woman. She said she gives her man head because she.
That's not a
don't want
virgin.
to-
I
not
can't
a
agree with
virgin.
that.
Well, it's not.
That's not
That
a
is not a
virgin?
that is a
It's
sexual act.
It's sexual act.
And she never
Nah,
been
but that's
penetrated.
still a virgin.
Yeah.
Literally, she's never been
What's-
penetrated.
No, her
within
hymen
the
is intact. She's not a virgin.
No.
She's not a
That
virgin.
dick has never been in her vagina. She's a virgin.
No, you
Your
suck
mouth
with a
is-
penis.
your mouth is-
No, you're not a
I heard
virgin.
multiple women say they use their mouth more than they use their coochie.
That's not a virgin.
Or their
That is
ass.
a band-aid. That is a band-aid to
you laugh.
cover up. That's crazy.
Like I wouldn't have thought. I figured any
So
type
you
of
would prefer
penetration.
somebody over there? You was like, oh, I'm a virgin, but then she been sucking everybody's dick.
Well, the one that's fucking everybody sucking everybody's dick too. So
No.
yeah, come on.
No.
Listen, I
So
think
you think every girl
Sucking
that
dick?
fuck somebody suck their dick
That's
too?
what I'm saying.
No.
I ain't say that.
I'm not
'cause I was
saying that.
about
I'm
to
just
say
saying
that.
like whether or not you using your pussy hole or your mouth or whatever the case may be, you using it. You get what I'm saying?
It's
Like
still
So you're not
Yeah.
considered a
You're
virgin
still
if you are
outside.
sucking. If you're
that's
doing
yo.
the
Let us know in the
share.
comments, man, because I don't know. I'm about to put a poll up. But I think in general, just before we move on to the next topic, just when I think a player, somebody like you said, is just playing the game. So whether it's men playing the game as far as trying to get as much, sexual access to as many different women as possible, and women is playing the game, whether it works in their favor or not, they playing the game to get the resources from men, whether it's money, trips, or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying?
Bills
So I
paid.
think women are
definitely
very much
got some
capable.
sneakers from hand in. You know what I'm saying? Got my bills paid too. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Play the game.
Listen, let me